Well, it's nice weather, so what should we get into? Lots of people have asked about this. I'd really like to get into that, but now it's not the time yet. There's bigger fish to fry. We got to get that 550 diesel done so that it's out of our way. But that's not what we're going to do yet either. So let's find out what it is right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. We have our field of failure, or our parking lot area of failure. We got so much stuff we could be doing, like all these tractors that I would like to see what the story is, but that's not it yet. Over here is a video I guess we're gonna make for a pal who lives in town. I've actually worked on his tractors in videos before, but he's got a 77 and he wondered how to get the fuel tank out and clean it. Now, this tractor does not have the fuel tank in it anymore. It's laying actually back there in a pile on the seat or whatever. And this is actually a project that we really need to tackle at some point, because like I said, I got new main bearings to roll in there, and one good afternoon, if it's not stuck, it'll probably run, because this is a totally different motor. But you know what I'm saying. So in order to get the fuel tank out of one of these, all you have to do is, first of all, take all your side curtains off and appropriate bolts, which 2 at the bottom, and then, you know, you might have 2 at the side at this point. A lot of people probably don't anymore. And then your front one just comes right off. There's a bolt on each side of the hood, and then you can pick the hood up, you know, take your muffler off, obviously, or exhaust pipe or whatever you have. Flap here, fold that forward, and then you should be able to just pull this straight up and off of the tractor. Now, once you've done all that, I don't see where the front brace is on this one. Maybe it's laying somewhere else. Is it laying close by? No. Okay, well, use your imagination. So you got this one in the back here. The back tank's resting on, then there's one in the front. And they both have a strap around them like this. And what you're going to want to do is try to clamp you some type of narrow vice grip or something right here to hold back on this. Otherwise you'll twist these straps round and round until there ain't nothing left, see? And that ain't a good time for nobody. So clamp that, and then you'll take these loose. They're, you know, fine threaded, so you're probably gonna fight most of the way, especially if they're rusty, kind of like this one is. Once you loosen them, you don't even really have to take them all the way off, I've found, because they have enough play where you can kind of fold them back out of the way, and then, you know, you will hopefully already have had your fuel line disconnected. And then you can just lift the tank straight up out of there. You know, it would be a good idea to probably more or less drain it first. It's easier to lift. And then you got your tank here, see? This poor tank here, I see, is just full of stuff. And that's not my doing. It actually did not have a gas cap on it when I pulled it out of the woods where it was. So that is going to cause you some, you know, depending on how bad your tank is, it could be a struggle, is what I'm saying. But what you can do with these, since they don't have any baffles in them, see, this one's junk, it's got a hole in it, but since they don't have any baffles in, you can put all kinds of stuff down in there, like, you know, some bolts and nuts and different things. I guess you could use rocks. I don't really like to use rocks because they break down and make more dust. But, you know, some brand new nuts and bolts, and just throw them in there. And then agitate this somehow. Not like upset it, like I hate you, you know, type of deal. But you could chain it or strap it to the tire of another tractor and drive it around. Or you could, you know, jack up a tractor and strap it to the wheel and just let it sit there and slosh around, you know, the nuts and bolts. Maybe put a little bit of fluid in there of some kind to do it. So that is one way to do it. The next way, or another way, however, it would cost you a fair bit to do it, would be to get some of the old evapo-rust. I've done that before. You know, you can fill them up and just let her sit and then drain it out, and then you have the unadded benefit, or not benefit, but the extra step of you have to flush that evapo-rust stuff out because it leaves like a film behind. So take your pick on that. I actually did use the evapo-rust on the 1365 tank and it worked pretty good. So, you know, that's what you could do, and hopefully, like I said, it's straightforward. It's 2 straps and the fuel line. Once you get the sheet metal off, it's simple. So yeah, so that's what you need to be doing if that's what you want to do. I look at this and I'm depressed. I really want to tackle this. However, I don't have time right now. I also really want to know that it's not stuck, because I paid money for that motor and then found out it wasn't the greatest. It's supposed to be a runner, but you know, can I turn it? Well, it don't look that way, does it? Looks like she might be locked. That's sad and unacceptable, really, because like I said, I got bid on that one. I have bought complete engines before, but I never had one fail me so much as this. I think that's 1 1/8 inch. I'm gonna go over here and get a breaker bar with an 1 1/8 inch socket, and we're gonna just move it. I can't move it much because the one of the rods is it the rod is disconnected? I think I took one rod cap off and a main bearing cap off. I can't remember, to be honest with you. The more I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about just doing this right now. But okay, I gotta move these buckets. I got buckets of fence supplies that an old man traded me for corn because he didn't want to pay. He wanted to trade fence supplies, which I didn't. Yeah, let's start with the breaker bar, and if that is indeed a thing, then I may go ahead and try to roll those main bearings in there right now. I didn't really intend on that, but I'll have to get my torque wrench, and this might be happening today. Let's get the breaker bar first, and then we'll see. Okay, well, now a person who wasn't a dum-dum would have brought a bigger dang it. I guess she's locked. Boy, that's depressing. That is depressing. I mean, all I'm doing here is tightening the bolt. That sucks. Well, so much for that project. Well, we could borrow over the flywheel, except the flywheel's not on there. I think what I will do is I will get some type of penetrating something in town tomorrow, and we will fill all of these cylinders with it and then we will see if we can't get this. What I'd like to do, man, this really blows. I wish I had got to it sooner, because it's been sitting here sealed up, but that was enough, I guess, to freeze her up. I guess what I'd like to do then maybe is pull the, maybe just lift the motor back out of it and then work on it on a table. I don't know if the engine stand is really what I want to do at this point, because it's, I'm just not making much sense here. But what I'm saying is, then I could just take all the main bearings loose and lift the crankshaft out, which is fine, because I think, if I remember right, it's also got a broken dowel pin on the back. And then I could get that out at the same time. And I've got another one somewhere, and we could put that in. And then maybe we can still salvage it. It's very frustrating that I bought this and it was supposed to be a runner and drop in and go. And what happened was, it was damaged on the shipping. It looked like they just beat the tar out of it with the forklift. And I'm afraid that's what did the deed to us here. I mean, it obviously doesn't have any oil in it, because it's, but that, yeah, it just really is not fair sometimes, life. But I think we'll proceed with that. I'd like to maybe even get it out of here, where I could, if I could get this drug out of here where it was in the way, then there's much more of a chance that something would actually happen, because I'd be tired of seeing it sit in my way. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I will clear a path to this, and I'll drag it out, and then we will start to tinker with it. So yeah, see, I mean, I even had tires mounted up for it. This was a used tire, but it's almost like new. It's flat now. One of those things where, that was kind of a chaotic time, though. That was around the time when Grandma died, I believe. So that's why it ended up sitting. I never got back to it. But I think I can, tonight what I'm going to do off camera is clean up here finally, so that we got stuff out of the way. Maybe we can hook to this and drag it where we can work to it on it. And then, yeah, that's my plan. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll throw in some more footage when I know more. All right, so I got this extricated this far, which is great. Sadly though, I forgot to bring any kind of fluid. So I found a partial jug of mystery lubricant that I hope is still good. And I'm just gonna put some in here, let her sit. This is kind of just got pushed back again. Something else showed up that needs to go to the head of the line. And we also need to do that 550 diesel. It needs to also be going at the same time, because it's sat here long enough. So that's my plan. Look at this beautiful thing that is totally garbage. Also, did I bring the right size? I hope so. Well, this kills me, because this was a running motor supposedly, but there was so much slop in the main bearings that I just couldn't let it go. How can this be that it's not turnable in my hand? But yeah, I should have just looked the other way and fired it up and not checked it out. But what started it originally, like I said, I had to do some stuff because it got totally crunched by the forklift when they were shipping it, and everything got destroyed. I think this is still the bent fan. I need to get a different fan, which I have. The guy who I got it from did make it right and sent me stuff, but I just never got. So we're gonna just put a little of this in. Okay, that's full. Okay, we need a new strategy because that's dumb to waste all that. We need to be more patient, I guess, when we do this and let it flow. I don't think it's stuck that tight. It can't be. Nothing has got in there. It's impossible. I mean, it has to just be like flash resting in there. And that's what the problem was. That one's probably down pretty far. Maybe we'll just stop with a little, you know? I don't think it needs to be totally full. That was my flaw on the other side. Other one. Just put enough in there that it is sitting on top of the piston. And if this don't work, I guess we'll take the head off and do it all, you know. Not overhaul it all, but we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, get her freed up. Here, I thought I had saved myself so much money by going this route, and all I did was fool myself. I mean, I wonder if a bird just crapped in my ear, or if that's a raindrop, you know? Could be either or at this point. I think it's a raindrop, because I feel more coming. See that? Those two are close to the top. 3 and 4. Yeah, we're gonna get rained out, folks. So, call the game on account of rain, I guess. It's fine though. You don't need to watch a guy pouring fluid in his holes. It's the same process over and over. Well, as per usual, I messed up because I used too much on the first one, and I'm not going to have enough for every one of them, I bet you. She's getting pretty light, that's what I'm saying, in the old jug. I'm glad I did not bolt this down in here, because that'll make it easier to pull out. I guess what we'll do, and I don't know, I might have got the new rear main seal retainer, but if not, I'm gonna get that too, and then we will have something, I hope, because this is kind of garbage. It had to freeze up on me. Oh, well, I ran out, which can only mean one thing. The number 6 is the one that's probably stuck, and I don't have anything in there. So I'll get more stuff. I don't know why I got in a hurry this morning and I forgot to stop at town, but such is life, friend. Such is life. All right, well, we didn't really need to start another project, but technically this project was already going. You just didn't know about it, and it's been sitting not doing anything, and it's time to do something with it, because like I said, I'm hopeful I can get that motor running in just an afternoon's work or so once we get it turning again. And then it's just a matter of slapping her together and this tractor should move. So that would be good, because then I can progressively work on this a little at a time. I got a whole new nose for it, and you know, this is probably not worth saving if it wasn't for the fact that I think this is the one that great grandpa had, just because of some features on it that seem like it lines up with what I was told. And what we will do then is the plan. We get it running and driving and fixed up. I've got a number 4 picker I want to mount on it, just like it was in the pictures. The one we had was actually a 421 cockshut painted picker, but it's the same thing as a number 4 Oliver picker. So I found one years ago that was in pieces. Well, not really pieces, but that's how you take it off. The old pickers were not simple like the later ones, where you attach the back and then turn around and drive the 2 halves together. You drive the tractor into the front half and then you totally assemble the back half, the elevator, all the cross, everything. So yeah, but I have everything. This tractor, that's another reason why I say it's probably it. It was traded in because it would not work in the new picker. They had adapted it somehow, but it just was too much. The new picker was too much for this tractor. So they took it out and then they traded it in, and this one still has all the corn picker stuff on it, the mounts for the old picker. And so I'm saying that, you know, maybe they would have used this to adapt it, because the other picker is a lot deeper, and I would say that they put the axle brackets over top of this bracket and clamped it around the bottom of the axle there and the top of the bracket here, just to take up the space. And it's got some welding on it and stuff that just looks like that's something Grandpa would have done maybe at one point. So I don't know. I can't say for sure, because the guy who had this rolled it over once and it's got a different hood on it. If it had the right hood, I'd know for 100% sure, because Grandpa had drilled holes in the battery box lid and mounted a fan to blow back on him while the corn picker, or away from him, however he did it, to keep the dust down. He said that actually worked. So anyway, yeah, we'll never know for sure, but I'm gonna fix it up and put it in the corn picker anyway, and if it is, it is. So that's where we stand. Like I said, I'll get more stuff to pour down the number 6 hole, and we'll just let her cook for a few days and then see if we can't get it to turn, and then we'll pull it out of there and flip it. And I got all the bearing, I got everything. All I gotta do is work on it. And if I do that, then maybe this project can move forward and we'll actually, you know, accomplish something for once in our lives. So that is the plan. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.